Welcome back to another episode of the Cody Tucker Show. As always, I'm your host, Cody Tucker. Today, I am joined by a very special guest, the one and only Mr. Mark Norman. How you doing, bud?
Ooh. Hey, good to be here.
I do. I'm excited to have you on. So before we kick into things, go ahead, plug, promote. Where can people find you? Dates coming up. To be honest, don't know when this is going to come out. I'm not like the most organized person. But if you have like a site where your dates are, that's perfect too.
Sure. I got marknormancomedy.com for all the dates, podcasts. I got Tuesday Stories. We Might Be Drunk. I'm all over the road. Say hello. I got a Netflix special. I got a YouTube special. I got all kinds of crap. So get your pants off and turn that shit on and go ahead and diddle.
Amen. Story of my life.
Here.
Dude, that's I saw the I have to say, obviously, like, thank you for the shout out on We Might Be Drunk. That was fucking a big surprise, I should say. But yeah, man, it got sent to me a few times because I hadn't watched the episode yet, and I was like, what the fuck, and saw it, and I'm like, damn, this is awesome. Like, yeah, I was very surprised to see that. I'm glad that you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, you got a great page, and I'm a sucker for the goddamn old phrases. Like, I love the movie stuff too. The movie stuff's great, but those old phrases, the fact that they stick with us, the cat came out of the bag or whatever, like,
yeah,
that shit is fascinating to me because it's from like 1625 in medieval England or whatever the hell.
Yeah,
I know that doesn't make sense, but
it's
amazing it's stuck with us.
Yeah, and like there's so many from like Shakespeare and everything like that are just little like passing things that somehow become shit that we say in 2024, which is mind-boggling to me.
Mind-boggling. Some guy said it when you were 10, you absorbed it. Now you say it. Like, I was watching one today and it was like, this place is so small you couldn't swing a cat in here. You ever heard that?
Yeah.
That comes from the cat of nine tails, which is a kind of a whip, and they would swing it around and then hit you with it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's where cat got your tongue comes from.
Oh, well. Really?
Yeah. Because they would, bring it out, and obviously, like, anybody who's about to get whipped with that thing gets pretty quiet. So then it turned into like, oh, cat got your tongue. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. See, another one. I love it. I love Saved by the Bell, as they used to bury people alive. They put a bell in there. So in case you were buried alive, just hit the bell.
Well, yeah, and then the people who worked, because then, it was such a common thing. So people would work at those cemeteries, like listening for the bells overnight. And that's why it's called the graveyard shift.
Whoa, come on. You're tagging everyone I got. This is great.
Yeah.
Woo!
Dude, they're just fascinating to me. Like, I will like study that stuff like endlessly. Like, I wasn't necessarily like a great student, but I love like finding my little thing that I like and then diving into it.
Same. I heard another good one. People back in the old days were so poor, you could sell your urine because they used urine to make pelts or fur coats or something.
To tan leather.
Tan leather, that's it. And then that's where you got the term piss poor.
Yep. And so that, and also to not have a pot to piss in.
Bam! Another one.
Dude, we're 3 for 3, man. That's pretty good. Yeah, they're just, like, language is fascinating to me. So I've been doing like a deep dive on just finding words that are from other languages that just got like anglicized for us. And there's like a million of those, and like seeing like how they started in like Japan. Like tycoon is a Japanese word that means like a nobleman.
Whoa.
Which in my head, I'm like, I don't expect that to be a fucking Japanese word, because every Japanese word I think of is basically like, well, it sounds kind of like a racial slur in some ways. So like, I don't like tycoon. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I actually have one, a little origin one that I haven't done yet. I was going to do it for you if you wanted to hear it.
Sure. Hit me, baby.
All right. So let's see. So in the late 1700s, obviously, shit ton of people dying from smallpox, but also a bunch of people dying from cowpox. Same thing, but just on cows. Then this guy came along, Dr. Edward Jenner, and he realized that the milkmaids who would, get the milk from the cows, who had become exposed to cowpox, were way less likely to get smallpox.
Mm.
So he started scraping the lesions of these chicks that had had cowpox and stuffing it into the lesions of people with smallpox. And it worked. It actually like cured
Wow.
it. So yeah, so it cured their smallpox and basically like completely saved, all these people. And so he started realizing like, okay, so cowpox could be like a preventative thing against smallpox too. Now, the Latin word for cow is vaca. Like in Spanish, I think they still say like vaca as well. And
Yeah.
that's where the word vaccine comes from.
Whoa, man! Oh man! Oh man! That's good stuff. Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa! Whoa!
I know it makes it a little wobbly between the ears, but
Now, what are we gonna do about my monkeypox?
oh, you're doomed on that one. Yeah. 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 Unless old Fouch decides to, work on that one, I think we might all be screwed.
Well, damn, that is great stuff. That's a good one. I heard, now this could be wrong. I got to ask you, you're the expert, Code.
All right.
I heard gangrene was getting so bad in World War I or whatever it was that eventually a guy was like, screw this. I'm not getting gangrene. Everybody's legs are getting cut off. So he stabbed a dead guy who had gangrene and just stabbed himself with the same knife in the leg, and he became immune.
Really? That's interesting.
He was out. He's so out of options. He was so desperate, and it reminds me of comedy because sometimes when you're trying to crack the code on a bit, on a joke, you can't do it, and you got to do the exact opposite thing of what seems right. Like,
Yeah,
obviously
like
you don't want gangrene, but he just said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna give it to myself," and it worked.
yeah, like almost like taking control of the situation
Yes,
by doing things ass backwards.
exactly.
Right.
Sometimes the opposite move is the best move.
Yeah, being like counterintuitive isn't always a bad thing. Like
Totally.
yeah, because then you fail. If you fail that way, then you kind of try to meet somewhere in the middle. Which,
Right, and
yeah,
exhaust every option. Why not? But it worked, and now, boom! Now we know how to get rid of diseases. Give yourself a little bit and let your body
yeah.
get used to it, and there you go.
Well, there's a guy who's been doing that with like snake venom for like
Mm.
40 years. He just like gets his ass bit by, by like rattlesnakes like every couple of days. And now he's like completely immune to rattlesnake venom, which I mean, I don't know why you would need to be immune to rattlesnake venom.
Yeah.
Like what world you live in.
Boy, somebody's going to do that with pepper spray. Some sexual deviant is going to do that with pepper spray. And then a lady's going to hit him and he's going to go, "What now, bitch?
Yeah.
I'm still here."
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, it gave me a pretty good idea. But yeah.
Now, you got all this wealth of knowledge. You got a cool Instagram page. Does this help with the ladies? Are you can you go on a date and just start spitting off vodka and vaccine and she's falling off her chair?
Yeah, there's a few times where you got to break out the towel for him to sit on, but no, dude, it doesn't help at all with that shit. I mean, maybe a little, like, if you can make a conversation interesting, that's a good end. But that only gets you so far. I mean,
Yeah, that's a tough thing because if you were a successful guy with like a word thing and you had a TV show about it and you were rich and famous, then you'd get the ladies.
Yeah.
But that's what's frustrating. You could be the same guy without the show, have all the same knowledge, not get laid.
I know it's almost like people are shallow and like who would have thought? I mean, I'm the same way. Like I'm not gonna date somebody based on their personality. But,
yeah, we're shallow in our own way, but
yeah,
just saying we have different types of shallow, men and women.
Yeah, because I don't give a shit if somebody's rich. Like I've never been attracted to a woman because she had money.
Right.
Like I don't give a damn. You could work part time at a Red Lobster as long as you got the goods. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, it's sad but true. I saw a bunch of women on some podcasts. They were complaining and they were like, "Oh, I'm accomplished. I'm rich. I'm successful. I'm good looking. Why won't this guy be with me?" And you're like, "Well, because he also wants to fuck the poor chicks." The fact that you're accomplished doesn't mean he doesn't want to bang chicks who aren't accomplished.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And in many ways, the unaccomplished are the that's fish in a barrel for a lot of people.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you find somebody who's a CEO of a company, you're like, oh, I don't have a damn chance with this one.
It's a good point.
Yeah. That's Like the ladies on Shark Tank. Like, I don't
Mm,
think I have a chance with any of those ladies. I mean, Cuban
no,
either, really, but
no,
yeah. Yeah,
your
maybe
way,
Damon.
Cuban. I assume Cuban has a smoke show wife.
Oh God, has to. Wouldn't that be
Has to.
crazy if he didn't?
Yeah,
I mean,
that
you'd be
would
like,
be
what the
weird.
fuck? What was the point of all this?
Uh,
Like you could have, you could have brought back Blockbuster or something and been just as fine. God. So for you, because I am curious about this, like, because obviously you've been doing comedy for a fucking long time. Like, do you
Mhm.
remember the day that you did it first? Like, is that just
Sure.
like ingrained?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I was always intrigued by it, but I was too scared to do it, and I took a speech class in college, and that really helped me out because, like, there's a low bar for jokes at a speech class.
Yeah.
You're in a college classroom with 25 kids in it, and you're
Yeah.
just talking about, oh, when I grow up, I'm going to do this, or I want to be the president, or whatever. And I talked about bedwetting, and it killed because I was a bedwetter.
Amen.
And I was like, okay, maybe I got this. And then I tried an open mic, bombed horribly. I got too drunk because I was scared. And then tried it again and again. And I figured, all right, I'm going to give this a real shake. And I moved to New York.
Yeah. Damn. So do you remember like what year was that? Like how long have you been doing comedy?
Well, the speech class was in '06. And then I did my first open
17.
mic a few months later. And
Okay.
then a few months after that, I did a second open mic. So it was '06, '07.
So 18 years.
Yeah, I
About.
guess so. Wow.
Damn, man.
Jesus.
That's crazy. Your comedy career is old enough to, well, it used to be old enough to buy cigarettes, but it's old enough to have sex with other adults. So that's
That's
good.
true. Too old
Yeah.
for Epstein.
Way too old. Yeah, yeah. You're about 10 years over, I think, for the Ep. Well, Ep, I think, might have been about 14. R. Kelly, you've definitely aged out.
Ah, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Piss
that guy.
poor.
Yeah. Yeah. But for you, like being like doing comedy for so long and doing so much comedy in that amount of time, do you already know what's going to be funny? Like when you write something out, or do you still like, does it have to be done in front of that audience to know for sure?
I think you get a better idea and a better handle on comedy as you
Hmm.
keep going. Like I used to be 1 out of 20 ideas I had would work. 1 out of 20, 1 out of 30. It was really low batting average. But
Yeah.
then now I'm at about 1 out of 6. I think is funny. 1 out of 5. So it's
Really?
gotten a lot better, but you still need that crowd.
Yeah. 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 I just didn't know if it becomes like you just know, like it's like second nature to you as far as like I know how these crowds work now.
Yeah, it definitely gets you get more in tune to it, but you
Hmm.
can never be 100% sure, and that's why it's great. Like if comedy was like a video game where you just go, I figured it out, I beat it, it's
Yeah.
over, it would kind of get boring. But the fact that like that's why Bill Burr is still going or Chris Rock is still going because
Right.
it you can never master it completely, and I think that's what keeps you in it.
Yeah, it's a never ending like humility, like humbleness. Humbleness might not
Yes.
be a word, but oh well.
No,
But
I think you nailed it.
thank you. I but that's part of it, like is it kind of it knocks your ego down slightly. I mean, it builds it up too, because obviously if you get, an arena full of people laughing, that's pretty damn good feeling.
Sure.
But a club night where nobody's laughing, that'll that'll make you feel like a real piece of shit, I
He'll make
imagine.
you feel like a piece of shit. You feel like a loser, and it validates all those insecurities you already have. You're like, all right, I got to get back to work, back to the
Yeah.
notepad, and figure this shit out.
Yeah. What's the best city to do comedy? Denver? That's what I've
Denver's
always
great.
heard. And then
Denver,
Miami's the worst.
yeah, you know your stuff. Yeah,
Like,
Texas is great. All of Texas is great.
yeah.
Um, I think where real people live is the key. Like New York and
Mm.
LA are tough because it's a bunch of transplants, it's a bunch of trans people, it's a bunch of
Amen.
students and young people, and on the cutting edge, and we're hip and we're too cool. But you
Yeah.
need like people with a family, people with a job, people with a car that's struggling, or a shitty house. That's who really
Yes.
is needs a laugh.
Yeah, you need people who are pissed off at real things so that they
Yes,
don't have energy to be pissed off at comedy.
yes.
Because
Exactly.
yeah,
Because now we'll have a lot of comment or audiences come out and they're analyzing the comedy. Was that
oh,
problematic? Was that offensive? Who's that
Jesus.
hurtful toward? You're punching up, punching down, and you're like, you're not even enjoying it. You're missing the whole beauty of this
Yeah,
art form because you're just sitting here like nitpicking and hall monitoring.
that's got to be so fucking frustrating.
It's a
Like,
little annoying.
yeah, I mean, because obviously, just don't go.
Yeah.
It's very easy to stay at home. It's actually might be the easiest thing a person can do.
Yeah, and
And
I'm all
yeah,
for if you don't like my act, I don't even like my act. You find me offensive, so does my dad.
yeah,
But
yeah,
the problem with comedy is you go see a Quentin Tarantino movie and you go, I hated that. He sucks, too violent. Fuck that guy. He says the N word, whatever. And
yeah,
then you go home. With us, I'm in the room with the audience, so they're like,
yeah,
"You stink." So you're hearing it right from the horse's mouth. Wonder where
yeah.
that came from.
Oh, oh man, I think I'm not gonna be able to pull it out of my ass fast enough. It'll just be,
Okay.
yeah, me over here sweating for 30 minutes. But yeah, that's interesting because yeah, you get like the immediate feedback that
Yeah.
no other like form of entertainment has that. Because even like music, like yeah, you go perform it live, but you release that album and like you work on that album for who the fuck knows how long.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, you might get feedback live, but also people know what you're gonna do before they come see you. Whereas comedy, like the whole point is to be surprised.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
And fucked up shit is funny. So
Yes.
when people are like,
Yes.
"How dare you say that?" You're like, "Well, I'm only saying it to get a laugh. I'm not condoning school shootings.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you
Yeah.
didn't see school shootings coming, so I use it as an example."
Right.
You know.
Yeah,
But
because that's a crazy one too, is that whenever the joke isn't even about that thing, it's just that thing is used to like show how dumb something is. And then
yes.
people go, "Nuh-uh, you shouldn't have put those two words together." It's like, well,
Right.
fuck you. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
and also I didn't shoot anybody. I'm just commenting on the thing that happened.
Yeah, people seem to like get more like publicly angry at a comedian for making fun of a school shooting than a person school shooting.
It's crazy. I obviously school shooting is the worst, but like
Eh,
when Dave
yeah.
Chappelle, he made a lot of trans jokes, people got mad. Then he
Yeah.
got attacked. A guy lunged at him. You saw that with the knife.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
And
got
then
the
people were
shit beat
like,
out of him. Yeah.
he made a trans joke right after he got attacked. What a piece of shit. I'm like, what about the guy with the knife? Like, are we missing
Yeah.
that guy, the murder attempt or the stabbing attempt? Like, our
Yeah.
priorities are out of whack.
Oh, I know. And like especially with the events of the other day, boy,
Yeah.
it's been I mean, I made a well, I shouldn't say mistake. I mean, I made a little post about it that I thought was kind of funny, and boy, people did not seem to think that it was funny.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, but I mean, I'm not a comedian, so there is like a level where people think I'm a historian, which I'm not. I mean, I'm just kind of a dipshit who has the internet. Like
Right.
it's yeah, but like yours, I mean, you've got in there real quick
Oh,
with
thanks.
yours.
Yeah, I try to
Yeah,
keep it pretty neutral. Well, here's my another annoying thing is people go, "Oh, you offended by the Trump jokes?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not offended. I'm annoyed that you get to get mad at a guy for a gay joke, but then you can make a joke about a guy almost dying, and that's okay. I'm
yes.
mad at them for not being consistent. I don't give a shit either way."
Exactly, and that was kinda my thing too, is that, like, be mad all the time or be mad none of the time.
Right,
Like
right.
yeah, because
Yeah,
I've never been offended by something. Like,
I've been offended by some. I mean, I have friends we ball bust. They go, "Hey, you suck. You're not funny." And I've been offended. I understand being offended,
yeah.
but it's just I don't write letters and try to ruin someone's life over it. That's what I don't get.
Yeah, there's a thing of people just kinda like having control, I think,
Yeah.
and feeling like I brought this son of a bitch down. It's like, "Well,
Yes.
alright,
Yes.
cool."
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's been a thing forever. I
That's
mean,
true. This is nothing new.
yeah, it's not even just like a comedy thing. Like that's been a thing. Like I don't know if you ever watched like The People versus Larry Flint. Remember
Love it.
watching that movie? Yeah, that movie's amazing. But like, they were trying to bring his ass down, and I mean, someone did in a sense. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's yeah, it's very interesting how that works. So, what kind of a student were you like
Oh,
growing up?
I was a bad I wouldn't say I was dumb, but I was a horrible student. I never read the book. I tried to wing it. I can't do math. I still can't divide. I can barely subtract.
Yeah,
It's embarrassing.
I'm with you. Yeah, I hated most of the shit, and then the stuff I did like, it didn't feel challenging. So I just kind of
Mm.
didn't care, Like
Yes.
I just wanted to be at the house. Which is really the story of my life. But I was, but you're from Louisiana,
Yeah,
right?
from New
New Orleans?
Orleans.
Yeah, Jesus. So your school is probably like built onto the back of a Copeland's or something. It was- Man, I mean, Texas is no different. Trust me. It was I mean, we had like dinosaurs with people riding them and all kinds of shit. Like, there's your science. Yeah.
Was that creationist?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What do you think is like the worst you've ever eaten shit on stage? Like, does that happen to you like recently? I mean, it's
It,
surely probably not
it
bad.
definitely happens less and less, but boy, it happens. I mean, I ate shit opening for Jerry Seinfeld once.
Jesus.
That was like life ruining. I mean, just soul crushing.
God.
God, I ate shit in an arena opening for Amy Schumer in like 2015.
Oh
20,000
God.
people, silence. I could hear a cough. I could hear a queef. I heard
Same
a
time. Yeah.
yeah, I heard a mouse jizz. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad, and the amount of sweat that was on my back could have like
Oh,
fueled a slip and slide.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's gotta be. So I mean, like what's the like the recovery for that? You just kind of like try to put it behind you and move on, or is there like a reflection of like maybe I need to just get hammered drunk right now? Like,
I usually go for the bottle, but you do have to have a bit of like of kind of a forensics thing. Like, all right, why did that go bad? What the hell did I say? What did I do? What did I do wrong? To never have that happen again, we got to figure this out. And then it's straight to the bottle, or go do another set. Sometimes you do another set, you can kind of wash it off. But
right.
that stink will it's like a skunk. You can't get it off for 3 days.
Yeah. Damn, that's gotta be. Was there ever a time like earlier into your career where you thought about just like quitting? Where you're just like, maybe I need to just go work at, a CVS.
I never really had that. I
No.
all my friends have been like, I almost quit this time. I was that close, but I had so little going on, and I was such a loser that I was like, well, what am I going to stop now? Then what? Then I'll work at the post office.
Yeah.
Like might as well keep going.
Well, that is kind of the beauty of being a loser. I mean, not to just outright call you a loser, but like when
I
you
know.
have that
I get it.
feeling about yourself, like it's like when you have nothing to lose, like you can really like kind of push forward.
Yeah.
Like I was always told like, oh, make sure you have a safety net. Always have a safety net. And I don't think that's necessarily like the right way to go about things.
I completely agree. I think a little bit of back against the cliff is kind of good for people. Like look at kids. Do you have kids?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me neither. But I think a lot of my friends were all idiot, jerk off, drunk guys, and they had kids, and it forced them like, I got a kid. I got to keep this thing alive. I got to feed it. I got to give it diapers, and it kind of kicked them into overdrive, and now they're like upstanding citizens.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't have done that without the kids. So sometimes when you're up against it, it's good for you.
Yeah. That is true. Like my brother's kind of that way. Like he was, a bit of a chunk of shit for a while, and then he had popped out a couple of kids. I mean, he didn't pop them out, but
Yeah.
give or take. But yeah, now he's a pretty good dude. Like
There you
it
go. There
seems
you
to be.
go.
I mean, yeah, like it's very interesting. Like
I think
how
kids are scary. I think they change your life, and maybe for the better, maybe for the worse, but they do kind of make you have to step up.
yes, yeah, or make you run away as fast as possible.
Or step out. Yeah,
Yeah.
either way.
Do you want kids?
I do. Yeah, I think things are going well enough where I can take my foot off the gas a little and have some rugrats, because a friend told me that you'll never understand all the full circle of life without a kid. Like you're missing out on a lot of experience, of like the full life experience, if you don't have a child.
I think that's probably true. I mean, as someone who has 0 kids, but I do think that yeah, there is something about like an inherent need to make a like a legacy in some way.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
totally, and
there's
then raise something, teach it, bond with it, because they say you don't know real love till you have a kid. I don't know. It's like after you have a kid, you look at
yeah.
your wife and you go, "Oh, I thought I liked you. This thing's really what it's all about."
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But also that little thing like has to have you to survive.
Yeah,
Like your wife can
that
kind
too.
of she can probably fend for herself in some ways, but yeah, that's yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever have kids. I don't think it's in the books. I mean, maybe, who
Really?
knows? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I say that now, but I mean, a year from now I could have 12 kids, pull a
What are
Nick
you,
Cannon.
25?
30.
Okay, yeah, you got
Yeah.
a little
Thank you.
time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
no, I mean, I'm a rough 30 for sure.
aha.
Like there's a good chance that I am not able to. I may be barren for all I know. Yeah.
Yeah, you shoot
God.
blanks, unlike Alec Baldwin. That's an old
Yeah.
joke. But
It's an oldie but a goodie.
but
Man.
yeah, like my buddy Joe List, he was like, "Oh,
Mhm.
I never want kids. What a waste. What a horrible idea. You can't do anything you want. You have no freedom." And now he's got a kid and he loves it.
Yeah. See, yeah, because that's kind of like that used to be sort of my way of thinking. It's like, oh, I can't like do whatever I want, but I don't do anything. So
Ah,
so what am I really like missing out on? Like I'm not like traveling the world. Like
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's if you could try any drug and not have any side effects from it, what would you try?
Ooh, I'd probably go with heroin. I mean, if we're not gonna have side effect, give me
Yes.
the top shelf horse. Give me
Oh
that
my
H.
God, I'm with you. I am with you. I've asked this question a few times, and everybody says cocaine, which I think is fucking crazy. I mean,
Cocaine, you can do that anytime.
well, yeah, I guess you can, but now, I mean, who knows if it's going to actually be cocaine?
True,
Yeah,
true.
yeah, that's got it. That's a scary fucking thing too.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, yeah, if you lace some with like some Ozempic, I'll be in there. But yeah, with fucking oh yeah, fentanyl and shit, Jesus. Yeah, heroin's mine for sure.
Gotta
Are
go
you
heroin. I mean, I might do heroin when I'm 70. Just like, I'm on the way out.
Oh, I will for sure. Oh, I'll have track marks on me like goddamn Amy Winehouse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh yeah. Jesus. Are you a hallucinogen fan? I know you do shrooms, I think a little bit, but like, do you ever go like higher than that?
I did acid in college a couple times. I did Molly a bunch.
Yeah.
I did Molly not too long ago, actually. So yeah, I'm not opposed to drugs. I just am scared of heroin because they say you get addicted after one needle.
Yeah. I mean, and everything I've ever heard about it, it sounds so good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like there's an interview with John Travolta where he
Pulp Fiction.
for Pulp Fiction. Have you ever heard that where he said what the experience is like?
Yes, getting drunk in a hot tub on tequila.
Yeah, my God. Like, like as soon as I heard that, I was like, I damn near went looking for a dealer. Like, yeah, I was like, this is what I need.
I
Yeah.
heard that a heroin addict said it feels like a swimming in a pool full of puppies, which in my mind I'm like that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, I don't think there's really no pool of animal that could be fun.
No,
Yeah,
no,
like too much of any animal is terrifying.
that's true. That's true. You know, you got a sweet little bunny rabbit, but you got 50 million of them. You're terrified.
Oh yeah, you're jumping off a cliff for sure. Like there's a question that popped up on the old like whenever I was, reading the internet the other night. And it's a pretty interesting one. How many owls do you think you would have to see in a given day for you to start being worried?
Ooh, that's
And
interesting.
and it blew my mind because I was like, I don't even know. I've seen maybe 3 owls in my entire life.
Yeah, good point. Because you see an owl, that's an omen. It can turn its head 360. The
Oh,
hoo hoo. That's a fucked up animal.
yeah. But you think like I wonder how many it would take before you called someone and was like, something is wrong.
Yeah,
Like
good point.
10? I mean, 5? I think honestly, if I saw 5 owls in one day, I
Yeah.
think I'm calling like my parents and being like, y'all need to get somewhere safe.
I think you got something there. Yeah, I'd say 5 or 6. That'll do. Because I don't think I've seen one in the wild in a while. So
Yeah.
5 or 6, and I'm flying to Hawaii.
Yeah. But they can also fly too, which is, makes you feel much less safe. All right. So I
That's
got a
true.
few random questions for you. If you
Hit
don't
me.
mind, we'll do a little rapid fire. What's a movie everyone loves but you hate?
Ooh, good one. Good one. Movie everyone loves, but I hate.
Yeah.
I like it. I like this. All right, hold on. Let me think about this. I should have this.
No worries.
Oh, I'm scared to say it
Why?
because it's. I don't know if I hate that movie. Maybe I'll hold on. Let me
Well, it
hold
doesn't.
back.
I mean, it may not necessarily have to be like hate, but you just are like,
Okay.
why the fuck do people love this movie so much?
I love the director. I love the idea. I love the farce aspect, but I didn't love Doctor
Doctor
Strangelove.
Strangelove. No, yeah, that movie is not that good.
Well,
I
I
mean,
got
to me,
super hyped.
I know, and yeah. So I am the exact same way about that movie. Like massive Kubrick fan, massive
Same,
fan of this,
same.
and I watched it whenever I was a little kid. Didn't really understand what the fuck was going on, so I
Yeah.
tried to rewatch it not that long ago, and it took me like 6 tries to rewatch it because I was so
Wow.
bored. Yeah, I was just
Wow.
super bored. Like now, granted, George C. Scott's voice is one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life.
Yes,
So
he's great.
that kind of had me going, but yeah, it just wasn't for me, man. Yeah, I'm more of like an eyes wide shut type fella.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I mean, talk about like an Epstein situation. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, just getting that off my chest, I feel so much better because it got hyped up so much. It's one of the greatest movies of all time, one of the best comedies. And I felt like it didn't know what it was. George C. Scott was really silly. He's like falling over and tumbling.
Yes.
And then Peter Sellers is shooting a gun with a general.
Hmm.
It just, I think I thought it was going to be like a naked gun or an airplane. And I couldn't tell. Was it serious? Was it sarcastic? Was it slapstick? It was too
Yeah.
much.
I'm with you. I think in my head I pictured a yeah, like a Zucker Brothers type thing, like an airplane. I think they did. I think it was the Zucker Brothers did airplane. But yeah,
Yes.
I was expecting something like that, like just a straight slapstick, like a Mel Brooks type situation to it, maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe it's like was Stanley Kubrick British? I don't think he was. I don't know.
I
He
think he's from the
seems
Bronx.
British. Oh well, I was a
But
little
I think
off.
he's
But
Jewish. But I think it was supposed to be a satire, which it
yeah,
was.
it
But
is, but it's like a weird kind of a like it's not fully a satire. I don't know. It's
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it threw me for a bit of a loop. But yeah, I love like I was watching The Shining, obviously like Full Metal Jacket. I didn't really give that much of a shit about.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
not
like that.
really. It as a fat kid, like watching him get beat with those bars of soap really did a number on me.
That's heavy shit.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Yeah.
so good, Vincent D'Onofrio.
So good. Private Pile.
Yes, God. All right, what
Yeah.
was But yeah, so for the record, mine's Forrest Gump. I
Oh, really?
fucking hate it, which I should love it because it's a history, like a journey through history. I think is the worst piece of shit I've ever seen.
Wow. I think it is I think it's overrated, but I do think it's well done, and it does evoke some emotion. So I give it points for that. Like you care about Bubba, you care
Yeah.
about Lieutenant Dan, you care about Forrest. The lady with AIDS, I hated. I thought
Oh,
she was a
Jenny.
cunt.
Yeah, she's a real piece of shit. You
Yeah.
show up riddled with AIDS, and then they're like, "All right, Forrest, I'll be with you now that you're a fucking millionaire from your shrimping
Yes.
business." It's like, oh,
Exactly.
it's like what a whore! Like this is fucking terrible. And then you have a kid who may or may not be Forrest. I mean, if I had to guess, that could have been anyone from the Free Bird days of her.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, it's just a real dumbass movie, but
I
I
hear
think
you.
people love it. I love the soundtrack. I'm a big
Yeah.
soundtrack kind of guy, and it's a good one. Who was your childhood celebrity crush?
Woo. Well, as a real young kid, I liked Oprah, which I know sounds
What the
crazy
fuck?
because I think she was very maternal. Like she was a big fat lady who hosted a show, and I thought she was like a mom. And my mom
Yeah.
was always gone. And I remember like putting Oprah on and being like, I need a hug.
Yeah.
So I had like a maternal thing with Oprah, but after that, it was
Yeah.
probably Selma Hayek or
That's a good one.
who else was up there? Natalie Portman, I loved.
Yeah.
Then
Tarantino did a smooth move by riding from dusk till dawn so that he could suck on Selma Hayek's feet. I
yes,
mean,
smart.
what a business to be in. You could just be like, hey, I think I'll play this role.
Right, right.
Oh, also, a little fun fact. You know who was supposed to play Bubba? One of the people auditioned for Bubba before McLeody Williams? Dave Chappelle.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah, allegedly Dave Chappelle was like crushed that he did not get that part.
Wow, I
Yeah, which
believe it.
is crazy to think. I mean, just to picture him in it. I mean, obviously he's a very good actor. Like,
Yeah, he is
he was in
good.
Con Air, which robbed at the Oscars. But let's
Put the
see.
bunny back in the box.
Yeah, put the bunny back. Yeah, God, Nicolas Cage, man. If you had to eat all of your meals for a month from one fast food chain, what would you pick?
Woo-wee. Well, I love Popeyes as a New Orleans native. That's from New Orleans, so I love
Oh
Popeyes.
yeah.
But I would die in like a week and a half if I ate only
Yes.
that. So I'm probably gonna go Taco Bell.
Yep, I'm with you. Taco Bell. There's a lot of options with Taco Bell. That's the main
Yes.
thing. Like, yeah, I can knock out that whole menu easily.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
I could drink fire sauce out of a big gulp. I
Oh
love. Give me all
God.
the packets.
Oh, I'll do a fire sauce. What's it called when you stick the hose up your ass?
Enema.
Enema. Yeah, I'll do a fire sauce enema right now. Oh yeah, yeah. Put that on my OnlyFans. Yeah, that's
Woo.
yeah. No, Taco Bell has that market cornered.
Oh yeah, love it. Love the
Not
shitty meat.
Chipotle. Don't you
Ooh,
don't
does
you eat
that
a
count
shit
as
ton of
fast
Chipotle?
food?
Oh, that's a good question. Do you consider Subway fast food?
Subway, yes. Subway's pretty trashy, and
But
it's quick.
Chipotle is the same thing. It's Mexican Subway.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It to me, it has a higher caliber of quality, but
Yeah.
maybe you're right.
Oh, I
Maybe
don't
you're right.
know. This might be a touchy subject, to be honest.
Yeah, we're really breaking down some barriers here. Maybe I'll go Chipotle. Good call, because it's kind of like a higher echelon of Taco Bell.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Chipotle really is just swindling people because that food is not fucking fresh by any stretch of the imagination.
No,
Um,
no.
It's like Panera Bread. Panera Bread. Oh, like, do you like? It's like Panera Bread being fast food. It has a drive-through, so it's got to be fast food. But Panera Bread's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, yeah. I don't love Panera.
What's a band that everyone loves but you hate?
Ooh, this is gonna get ugly.
Oh, I can't wait.
I might lose you here. You got the black bandana, but I'm not a fan of Metallica.
I mean, I don't like hate you now or anything, but
Okay.
it is yeah, I'm a big Metallica fan. But I can understand anybody who says like what their answer is, I can usually understand like why they don't like it. I may not
Yeah.
agree, but I get you.
And look, I'm in the minority. They sell out arenas. They're huge.
Yeah.
I just find it. I'm such a goofball, and they're so serious that I find it cringy. Like, enter night. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right. How about a hug and a popsicle? What are we doing here? It's too brooding and dark. But
Yeah.
I like Danzig. I like the Misfits. I like
Okay.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah, so you do like metal, like to an
Yeah.
extent. It's just Metallica kind of. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I'm like a Weezer might be one of mine.
Oh, good one. Good one.
Not a fan. It's just real kind of nerdy, whiny sort of music. Like, yeah, this is not for me. Like REM, feel the same way about them. Like, I don't like this bullshit.
Right. I hear
Yeah.
you. See, I like REM, and I can get down with a little old Weezer, but
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, like shiny happy people. It's not a thing that I've ever been like, God, I want to hear that in a song.
That song I can't stand, so I'm with
No.
you there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. What was your first concert?
Oof. Well, I saw some jazz shit when I was little because my
Oh,
dad brought me, so I don't really remember
yeah.
that. But I think first one I remember was Limp Bizkit.
Was it really?
Yeah, well, it was a different time. It was
No,
the
that's
90s.
that's a good one, dude. I love Limp Bizkit. and
Oh,
not even
really?
like not even like ironically. Like I thoroughly enjoy Limp Bizkit because it is a joke. Like Fred Durst
Yeah.
has said multiple times, like this band was not meant to like do anything.
Right.
Like he was like, I was just doing this like as a joke, making fun of people who like this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
God, what a world to get put in. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Limp Bizkit's a good one. I mean,
It's all
mine
about
was
the
the
nookie. Sorry.
all of yes, no, you're good. Misfits was mine. I mean, and it was
Oh,
kind of a
wow.
yeah. I mean, it was not like great. It was like one guy from the original, lineup.
Mm.
It's like okay, but then first one where it was like legitimate was Smashing Pumpkins.
Ooh, that's another good one.
Great one. What's the best concert you've seen?
Ooh, that's a great question.
I mean,
This
do
is
you
gonna
go
throw you.
to a lot of concerts?
Not really, not really.
Okay,
I'm not a huge concert guy. I get the record, I hear the music, I put it on my headphones, and I'm good. I don't really need to see it live, which is
gotcha.
I understand is a little hypocritical for a comedian to say, "Come see me live."
Yeah, I don't know.
But I just I saw this is gonna throw you for a loop. Wonder where that came from. But I saw
Ooh.
John Baptiste. You ever heard of
Really?
him?
Yeah. He was isn't he Colbert's
Yes.
yeah. And he did the
Yes.
music for Soul, I think, the Pixar
Yes.
movie. Yeah,
So
yeah.
he is from New Orleans, and I was at Jazz Fest, and I was going to see like I don't know somebody, some big like Lumineers or something. And
Yeah.
John Baptiste was playing like an hour before, so we had to kill some time. So me and the wife went, blew our tits off. I mean, the vibe, the feelings, the goosebumps. I mean, it was a banger. It was just a great show, and we left like feeling we experienced something. It was more than just a song and a music and a concert. It was like
Yeah.
an experience.
Oh, the feeling of being surprised, pleasantly surprised
Yes,
is the best feeling in the world.
totally,
Like
totally. We were
it,
totally like transcending. We had like escaped reality. It was incredible.
yeah. No, he's fucking amazing. That
Yeah.
guy is so talented. Like I'm not a, like a jazz guy, but I can respect people like I can tell when somebody's very good at something. And
Yes.
that guy is so good at like I mean yeah. I think Rolling Stones is probably the best one I've seen. Rolling
Oh, I
Stones
saw
is
them
a good one.
recently.
Yeah, I did say 2021 I think is whenever I saw them. So like
Wow, COVID.
somewhat recently. Yeah, right after COVID, which I mean for, Dallas COVID lasted for about 3 weeks. So, yeah, so it was long gone by the time they were here. Yeah, what's the first movie that you remember seeing in theaters?
Ooh, maybe Roger Rabbit.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, the Jessica Rabbit thing really put me down yeah.
A rabbit hole.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah, really kind of Lion King did it too. Lion
Yep.
King gave me a weird complex of like I kind of want to have sex with this lion. Um
Nala.
yeah, which that's not a good place for a child to be. Uh but
Eh,
that's
you could do
life.
worse. You could have been into the warthog.
Oh, well, I didn't say I wasn't. Yeah, and then last one, what's the first comedy special you saw?
Whoa, man. Well, my dad would buy the cassette tapes because I'm old. I'm 40. So
Yeah.
we would drive to school, and all we had was the radio back then. And we had a tape deck in the car, so he put in Bill Cosby himself, which is
That's
amazing,
amazing. Yes.
great record, and Jeff Foxworthy was the other one. And those were the first two comedy specials I ever heard. Then I got into Seinfeld, I got into Ellen, I got in.
Yeah.
Then you get a little older: Chris Rock, Dave Attell, Louis C.K., Bill Burr, Mitch Hedberg, Stephen Wright,
Yeah.
Woody Allen. So yeah,
Yeah. That's a no, that's a good one. I mean, actually, mine's kind of similar. Like my grandparents showed me Bill Cosby himself, like the actual special.
yeah,
Because isn't that the one where like the lights are changing behind them?
yes,
Okay,
yes,
just want to make sure. Yeah, so they showed me that one, and then my parents, like, because I'm 30, so like whenever I was a kid is when like Blue Collar Comedy Tour came out, the DVD,
yep,
and that was like everyone would
huge,
then like everyone who had access to a Walmart had that
yes,
DVD.
yes.
And yeah, so we watched that like endlessly. And I like Ron White was my favorite. Like I was like,
Amazing tater salad.
dude, I still think like Ron White's one of the greatest comedians ever.
He's great, and he's still, he's at the mothership,
Yeah.
still killing it. New material, looks great. Quit drinking, still going, still
Yeah.
writing, so cool to see.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be maybe a hard question to answer. Who do you think is like, just for you personally, the greatest comedian of all time?
Well, this is obviously controversial, but I think if you're really going to go pound for pound, like I think Richard Pryor is the funniest comic of all time, maybe, but I think George
Yeah.
Carlin is the best comic of all time because he had every discipline. He could write clean, he could write dirty, he could write social commentary, he could write puns, he could write observational. So he had everything, and he had 14 hours of comedy, whereas Richard Pryor I think had 3 or 4.
Yeah. Yeah. George,
So
is there a comedian that has more hours than George Carlin?
I think Louis might. Louis is a psycho.
Oh,
He just keeps pumping shit out. So he might,
yeah.
and also he's still alive, so
Well,
he could keep going.
yeah.
But outside of that, and just to do that much back then
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah. When it was so much harder to get one done. I mean, and he
Yeah.
was doing like, yeah, I mean, that is, yeah, I think for me, like, just to me, like, and I'm probably adding in other stuff besides comedy, like stand up into it, but Norm Macdonald, I
Ah,
think
the
is,
king.
I think is the funniest human being to ever live, probably.
I completely agree. I'm not saying
Yeah.
he's the best comedian,
Yeah. Yeah.
if we're
That's,
talking like fundamentals and all that, but funniest guy, hands down.
yes. Yeah. I think that's more like, if it's just stand up, then I'm probably with you with like George Carlin, but maybe Louis C.K. would be up there as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, he'd be up there.
he'd be, yeah. Dude, I appreciate you coming on, man. This has been
Oh,
a blast.
good talk. Yeah, you got good questions, and
Thank you.
I like your insights. We could talk all night, Cody.
Amen, sister. So before we go, any last words that you'd like to leave the people with? Your take on the Middle East? I don't know. Anything?
No, I say praise Allah, cover your women, and throw the gays off the roof. No, but keep posting your shit. I love the origins. I love the movie stuff. It's more people are into it than you know. So keep it on. And one day I'd like to make a show out of this with the fun facts plus jokes, and I don't know how to do that yet. So
I think it's easy. I think it'd be easy to do that.
really,
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think so
okay,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely do that for sure.
yeah. Just think, because once you explain the saying, the origin of it, how do you make that funny? So that's the challenge. But I think we can crack it.
Or yeah, yeah, or you just make it funny throughout the whole telling of the story.
Yeah, right, right.
So then there's, both sides. You have the funny side of telling the story, and then you have the reveal, which, I don't know. I mean, I'm no expert on, well, anything. So,